Oh, yeah. Oh, welcome to the Conversations with Humans.
S- sounds a bit slow. Oh, what the?
Is it going slow?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
On my end,
Nice.
on my
Woo!
on my end, it started out as like a slowed version,
Like the batteries were dying.
like a Christopher Robbins remix.
Hey, they
If you
don't
know,
even
you
know.
know.
Hey. So, did you hear that Facebook is changing their name? That whole thing. It's happening tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I heard about it, but I didn't know when it was going to happen.
So, do you got any predictions of what they're going to change their name to?
Something with the word meta in it.
Okay.
Probably.
Walmart.
I don't know.
Walmart.
Walmart.
Maybe just book.
Yeah.
Simplify.
Well,
Earth.
I feel like they're gonna keep the Facebook name for Facebook, but then change.
The parent company.
Yeah, because I think
Yeah.
that Facebook right now is owned by probably Facebook Inc. or something.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. What the. Oh yeah, it is. So it's the parent company's Facebook Inc. And so they'll probably change the parent company to something with the word meta in it or something.
The metaverse.
Metaverse. They'll just steal that name like they steal
Yeah.
everything else.
Like they steal all of your user data.
Mm-hmm. And every feature from every other platform.
And they don't tell you.
Yeah.
I guess they're getting better at telling you. I'm kind of out of the loop with the Facebook news lately, to be honest. I just want to crack the Walmart joke.
You've been saving it.
The metaverse, though, is super interesting. And we can kind of talk more about it in the future with the guest we got coming up.
Yeah. I feel like we
got a secret guest coming up. Talk about the metaverse.
I feel like in our past episodes, we went through phases where we were talking about it a lot. Like with the virtual working, like all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
A lot of our podcast episodes in the past were focused on like remote work and, what it would be like to work fully in virtual reality.
Yeah.
Things
Well,
like
I think
that.
also just like the topic of the future. We like to fuck around and talk about the future a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think we should definitely talk about more of that stuff too, because it's really interesting. Like this podcast is like more casual listening,
Mm-hmm.
and like I love just talking about just stupid shit sometimes.
Yeah. I think the future is what gets me the most amped up,
Yeah, it gets me inspired.
Yeah, of course there's I feel like the older I get, the more I'm like seeing the downsides of the future too. Not in like a personal life, but more of like a world life or like a world perspective too.
Uh-huh.
Because I can just see everything going south too.
There's
hope
there's
it
two
doesn't.
there's definitely two sides to the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if you just choose to think about only the good side, we'll just forget about all the other stuff. Did you see homie calling out Nike for the Chinese slavery making the shoes? He called out like LeBron James,
Who did?
Michael Jordan. He's a NFL player.
Oh no, I didn't.
I don't remember his name though, to be honest. But it's like you totally just forget like about the stuff that's going on in other countries.
Yeah.
Like we have like just the ability to like you and I be at our spots today and just to be able to have a computer and record a podcast to just talk about stupid shit we're thinking about.
Yeah.
They can't do that in North Korea.
No way.
Oh, get wrecked, North Korea. About to write a diss track on North Korea. I was looking at the Metaverse Instagram page with the 3, like Meta V3 verse, and it's so cool because there's not a lot of places talking about like only crypto NFT type news. Like if you just like Google news, everybody's talking about politics and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was just like scrolling through their grid, seeing all the different posts. And I don't know if you like heard this, but you know the Wu-Tang album?
Yeah.
Did you hear that it got bought by someone else?
So I knew that it was in the hands of Martin Shkreli, but then he went
Yeah.
to prison, and I don't know where it left off from there. And then I heard that it's in the hands of a DAO, right?
It's
Or
like
is it?
a crypto group or something called Pleaser DAO, like
Oh yeah.
PLEASR capital DAO. So apparently they bought it off of the government for $4 million. And
Oh.
that same group also just barely bought the original Doge meme and NFT for like, I don't know, a couple $1,000,000 or something like that.
Do you know what
So,
DAOs are?
no, explain it.
Well, I don't know it that well either, but like so, but dude, this is gonna be one of those things where in like 5 years we're gonna be looking back on like this and be like, dude, we were such idiots. It's like when people were trying to explain the internet or something.
Yeah, but it just takes time to learn about it, and we may as well just like talk about it kind
Yeah,
of openly because I think most people listening also uh don't really know about a lot of the terms and
yeah.
stuff.
So I'm just gonna. It's a digital decentralized autonomous organization,
So
but
DDAO.
it's DAO. But I guess they just lump the two D's together.
So gay.
But it's it's like a organization of people that are like together trying to like accomplish the same type of goal or something. I don't know.
I dropped the ball. I shouldn't have cracked that joke. Now we can't focus. All right, deep breaths. Okay, so say that last part again one more time.
Bro, yeah, it's not even like the joke, like the content of the joke. It's like the meaning that it has for us, like with David and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Like the context behind
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Oh man. Um. So it's basically, I think it's like, uh, I think a way to explain it is to compare it with like the past versions of like its opposite. So the opposite would be like one person leading a whole organization or group of people, and like you listen to whatever that person says. But a DAO is kind of like everyone has the same type of voice or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Which I think is just a super cool future like way that organizations are going to be. It's
Yeah.
kind of similar to, if you remember when we were with Brian Ragone in Chicago and he was explaining to us what that one book called Holacracy is.
Oh,
And
I totally
it's
forgot about that book.
it's like a organization that is kind of like distributed evenly and everyone has a say in what's going on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
which I heard that Zappos is run kind of like that, where people don't really have roles there. They kind of do whatever they want to do for that day or something, which is like,
Hmm.
it's super hard to like fathom that would work out. But I don't know. I guess they made it work.
And
And
people just adapt based on what needs to get done and like even delegation or something.
I don't know. And I'm probably like getting that completely wrong. But like that idea actually sounds really like, uh, it sounds like futuristic, but also like primal at the same time. Like if we're in like a tribe of like 12 people and someone's like, hey, I want to be the leader, like, then it's kind of like, hey, well, like show us that you have leadership qualities and you can do it, you know? So if you want to do like a certain role in the company or the organization or whatever, you just have to show that you can do that role and then you can be that. Like there's no hierarchy that's saying you can't move up, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the main uh aspect that's beneficial of these types of organizations, because it's like more freedom to move around and excel and do everything, like do the things that you want to do without some sort of hierarchy or middleman or whatever, like saying that you can't do that, which I feel like is just an overarching thing that a lot of like these new technologies are allowing, is just reducing gatekeepers.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
It's like giving access to information.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, we'll find out on one of the next episodes if I just completely got all of that wrong. Roberto is gonna let us know.
Gonna shred us. Shred us like some beef.
Yeah.
Bro, something that was interesting something I was thinking about that could be interesting in the future is, what if we were to live stream a podcast episode? It's like a digital event, where people could comment and engage with us like live while we're recording. That would be interesting to like maybe try or test sometime.
I'm pretty sure that that's how Joe Rogan started doing podcasts.
Is live streaming it?
Yeah, there used to be a time where like every podcast that he did, and this is like back in like early 2010s, like maybe even like 2009 era too. He would like which I'm not sure if he was even podcasting around 2009. Sorry.
2009.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that every podcast that he did was live for a period of time. But
I mean, I don't know if I would want to do like I wouldn't want to do all of them live, but if you do like certain special occasion live episodes, it's kind of like an event that anyone can go to.
right.
And I mean, we can kind of treat it like that too, like maybe make it a little nicer. And like I'm so excited to get this podcast evolving over time and to like get our cameras set up. And like right now we're just like getting them going, and like we have a bunch of really exciting projects going on towards the future. And each time we like are working on one, and I'm like reminded of like how much there is to do and like how exciting it is for the future. Like just the Conversations with Humans podcasts, like to be able to bring on all these different like friends and guests that we've been talking to is going to be so awesome. And like this is only episode like 40 or 39.
Yeah, 30. No, I think it's actually 38.
Oh, 38.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're just kind of doing them one at a time, and like I think we should keep on trying like different things to keep on like exploring like how we can make it better. Like even a live podcast in person at
Yeah.
like an event would be cool in the future, but not necessarily right now,
Right.
Or
Bro,
both, like doing a live one and live streaming it and having a small group of
true.
people there in person. And then if you can't make it in person, you can still watch the stream.
Yeah.
Did you see Cody and Noel's event that they did, that they like didn't like, once it's over, you had like 2 days to watch it and then the footage is gone. You can't find it online.
I didn't see it, but I remember them like talking about it on their YouTube channel.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but that's just an interesting concept.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like that you can just sell, like it's like selling like tickets to a concert almost.
Yeah.
It's like that is really interesting, because I feel like that's kind of a middle ground, like where like people, like if you're going to go live on YouTube or something, you go live, but then that video stays there forever, pretty much as a video now that's on your channel.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of is like, when you have it remove itself and like it's gone, it kind of adds some sort of like, it's similar to like an event that you would go see, like you go see Post Malone in Salt Lake. Like once you go see him, that experience is special, because once it's over, it's over. You
Yeah.
can't just watch it again on YouTube whenever you want.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind
And
of like,
also, yeah, go ahead.
it's just like the digital version of that.
Yeah. It reminds me of Rick Rubin's Instagram account. And what he'll do is he posts like a white screen with a quote, like one of his own quotes, and he'll post one every day and then delete it every day so that his page always only has one post on it.
Wow.
I mean, he's been doing that for a while, and I'm pretty sure he's still doing it. Let me just pull it up right now and see if he has one post from. Oh yeah, he has one post from 23 hours ago. Pay attention to the culture without being driven by the culture.
Dude, I want to just know what his life is like his day-to-day life, because I feel like you can tell a lot from you can learn a lot from someone by how they spend their life day to day.
Uh-huh.
Like, I feel like he's the type of dude that like wakes up at like 4 a.m. and just meditates for 2 hours in his backyard. So,
For sure. Yeah.
like, and I respect those people so much because that's so hard to do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to get to that point sometime in my life where I prioritize meditation more, because I feel like it unlocks like such a different type of consciousness that you can bring to your like day-to-day life too.
Yeah. I saw him in an interview talking about Shangri-La, his studio in Malibu, and it's all white without there's not art or anything anywhere or whatever. And he said his goal is to create an environment where an artist can be themselves freely and like without distractions of the outside world. And that's like such a cool perspective that he's sharing on the music production process from the perspective of like he's one of the greats with like
Yeah.
what the music that he's been behind creating. But super dope. That clip from your TikTok, maybe we could talk about that.
Yeah. Um well, first I need to vent about the freaking, well, so we're on the topic of TikTok.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like it gets my blood boiling just reading the comments, bro.
Oh shoot, on which one?
Just like, dude, I mean, it's been happening on like, there's always a few on every video.
Yeah.
And the thing that bugs me the most about like the specific content that I make is like I take a like a book, a full like 300-page book, and distill it down to like 1 minute, you know?
Uh-huh.
Or like I take one idea and distill it down to 1 minute.
You
And
simplify it.
yeah, that's like what I do, is simplify ideas down to like bite-sized things. But like
Oh.
with that, it's like the comments that bug me the most are people that are like, yeah, but, and I'm like they read into like what I'm saying as like treating it as like gospel, and then they apply that to like everything in life. And
Uh-huh.
it's like obviously there's caveats to everything I'm saying. Like all of these ideas have a double-edged sword. Like, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that on every single video. I'm not gonna be like, well, watch out. Like don't use it this way or whatever. Like
Yeah.
that's up to you as a viewer. But like don't think that I'm just like uh saying that like you need to do this or whatever.
Yeah.
Like with
Or
the
that
one
this is the answer.
yeah, like the one that I did with so yesterday I put up two videos, and
Uh-huh.
one of them was the Rick Rubin one, and one was a book review on personality isn't permanent. And
Mhm.
in that book, he talks about how there was a like Olympic rowing team that was like failing every single year, and what they did to actually win and get a gold medal is they focused on doing only the things that would make the boat go faster. And so like every activity, even in their daily lives as individuals, was focused around like, would this make the boat go faster? Like eating fast food, sleeping in, or like playing video games all night. Would this make the boat go faster? And if it wouldn't, they wouldn't do it. And so I was like saying in the TikTok, like if you really want to like get to where you want to go, have this type of mentality, you know? And then people are like, yeah, but you can't just do that for everything in life, you know? And it's like, dude, of course. Like, of course. And like, they're just always picking these little flaws out. And it's like, you almost can't do anything about it, like, as a creator, because
Uh-uh.
I'm not just going to start like debates in my comment section. And it's also like an art and a science to like respond to haters and people that like, you have to do it very carefully, because if you come across a certain way, it makes you look bad in front of your whole audience, even the people that really like you.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Definitely.
it's so hard. Like,
I
I'm
think
definitely learning
people,
how to like manage it.
yeah, like I feel like people are quicker to comment when they're angry than like a positive comment or something.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, like I'll be on my phone just like casually whatever, doing something, and then boom, I get a YouTube comment on my video from some channel with 0 subscribers that says, you dumb idiot, like some like so stupid, like just pure hate. And then I'll get other ones that'll just be like my video where I shaved my beard and got everyone's reaction has kind of been my first. It's like steady climbing a little bit in terms of like people watching it. So I've been getting a lot of like mixed comments. Like
Yeah.
the first wave of comments was like a ton of just like love and homies,
Yeah. Friends and family.
friends and family.
Friends and family round.
And then I started to slowly get random comments like, you look like so this YouTuber, or like comparing me to like how I look.
Yeah.
And then I've been getting just like these just like straight up just like people will just make a brand new account and not like, they'll know that you'll never know who it is commenting or
Yeah.
anything, and then they'll just rip you a new one and just be like, uh ooh, you should have kept the beard, or like, lose the ponytail, or lose the man bun, buddy. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I put my hair up in one part of the video when I was shaving my face, and the
Yeah.
rest of my video my hair wasn't even up. But it's like, you just can't listen to, like, those comments are just like pointless at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
I feel like it's like the analogy that I was thinking about this is like, let's say you're at like a like you're at like a let's say you're like a singer or something, and like after the show you're doing like a meet and greet with all your fans, and like you have like a bunch of fans around you that just love you and they're like giving you praise, but like 40 yards away there's someone that's just like, hey, screw you, man.
Yeah.
It's you're like, you can't help but hear that person over there. Like,
Uh-huh.
even though all these people are giving you praise, it's like you hear that person that's just screaming from the back.
Yeah.
And but you have to train yourself to just not give them any attention.
Look, here's the thing. And this is something that we've talked about before a little bit, and that when I was younger, I didn't quite understand it, and I'm starting to understand it a little bit more. And it's this concept of having an inner circle of people that you trust,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like people that will also that'll keep it real with you, and that you have really great relationships, like being really intentional about the people and the close people in your life. And like for me, it's like those are the people that doing most of this stuff is for. It's not for like random people, it's like
Yeah.
for your
Yeah.
friends and your family, and being able to do it for the ones that you love and they're close to you. And if I'm doing something that's so fucked up that like is really bad or something, I know that someone in my close circle loves me enough to say like, oh, Mike, you maybe next time don't do this or whatever. And so those are the comments that I'm going to listen to and that are impactful to me. But a random person, whatever they're saying, even the good things,
Yeah.
it's just about the close people around you, and the rest, like, it's just kind of, I mean, it's not the rest that are bad, like it's just the ones that are against you that are bad. Because a lot of artists and stuff, part of what, like, in interviews that I'll watch, they'll talk about how part of the best part of being an artist is having a fan base, like
Hmm.
a good fan base, like that lines up with your personal brand, and it's like relative to every single person. Like the people that are gonna fuck with Mike and True are different from the people that are gonna fuck with Zaboom Fu. Oh, but you know what I'm saying? Like
Bars.
Tyler, the creator's audience is a lot more different from Tory Lane's artist or
Yeah.
Taylor Swift or whatever. So building like our own unique, I mean, it's cool because like you and I both have like small brands. Like we haven't quite like experienced having a large Truman Mylan personal brand, but even just getting like a taste of like how far we've come with our like content and the media that we put out and all that stuff, it's really motivating having like people's support and people like really love what we make, you know, like the really genuine and real comments make it so much more worth it than like the stupid fake account that's saying that I should lose the man bun.
Yeah, dude. It's so funny because like it's like that old saying that's like the loudest screams come from the cheapest seats or something like that. And I got that wrong, but you get the idea. And it's like if you go to all of the like the negative comments and click on their profile, they don't have any published videos. They have like under 100 followers, and it's not about having followers, but it's like they're not like you're not in the game. Like so you can't be critiquing people that are in the game.
Yeah.
Like
you're not playing.
Yeah, you're not even on the bench. You're somewhere up in the you know what I mean? Like
I saw a TikTok like that of like that was saying when the kid who's never released a single song says that your music is trash or something.
Mm-hmm.
But you get the point.
Yeah.
And it's so funny when you said you get the point. I'm like, that could be an interesting TikTok series where you convey a simple idea and it's just like you get the point. Like it doesn't have to be like exact like what you just said. Like I could still get the point without it being word for word.
Yeah.
And that also is kind of similar to your simplifying ideas concept.
Right.
But bro, TikTok is pretty crazy. I did not think it was gonna get as nuts as it is. Do you think that it's gonna pop and explode like Vine did?
I don't know. I feel like we're already at that point.
Where it's well, no. I mean like
oh, in a bad way.
I mean in a bad way.
Oh.
You know, like shit hits the fan and it's just like TikTok is gone. Like cuz you know, the hockey stick growth and it gets so big and big until eventually it just I don't know.
I forget why Vine even went away.
I think it started with maybe them getting bought by Twitter.
And then they
they just chose to dissolve them over time. Yeah. But like people on Vine, like it wasn't like people stopped fucking with Vine. It was the logistical side behind the scenes. So like TikTok could go away, like just because everyone's loving it doesn't mean that it could last forever. Did you hear about Trump's new platform that he's launching?
Yeah.
His social media platform to get away from liberal media?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I wonder if it's gonna I think that if it's not like branded with Trump all over it, I think that it will actually have a shot. Because
I think it's branded around truth or something.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, because that is like a real concern and a real problem. Like whether or not you're political at all, people were definitely struggling with the ability to have open free speech online, you know?
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, that's something that bugs me about TikTok is like a video will get taken down if you like I can't even like if there's weed in a video, it'll get taken down. I'm like, you're telling me I can't even watch a video with weed in it on TikTok? Even YouTube isn't like that.
Right.
It's a video of weed. It's like I'm over 21. My account knows that I'm like not some 12-year-old kid. Yeah. But it takes it down. There's even things that you can't talk about.
I know. That like concerns me so much. Like because the thing is like I'm all for everyone being polite to each other, you know, and not having hate speech. But like when you're controlling what people can and cannot say, that is like it's going to a place that we shouldn't be going, you know?
Uh-huh.
And it's just like concerning because like who's dictating what we can and cannot say? Who are those people, you know?
It's it's Facebook and
Yeah.
TikTok. You know, it's TikTok that sets the guidelines, and like if TikTok is owned by the Chinese, well, just everyone's on TikTok and you just have to accept it. Like there's nothing you can do about it. Like you can't submit a fucking complaint to TikTok's email saying, "Show me more weed videos."
Yeah.
Stupid. But um should we do a tweet examine? You always got fire tweets. Like I think we should do this at least once per
Okay.
episode.
All right.
Push a boy harder and he'll break. Push a man harder and he'll get stronger. Sheesh. That's okay. Yeah, let's see. Let's just hear you. And it's like you don't have to go too deep because we got plenty of
Yeah.
tweets, but just kind of give like I don't know a thought about it.
I just feel like I mean, a lot. I don't know how to phrase it, but it's like when you're younger, and like I'm speaking from being a man, being a guy, and I feel like when you're younger, you're more vulnerable, and like when people poke at you, you kind of uh, cave under whatever they're saying to you and things like that. But when you get older, it's kind of you want to prove them wrong, and so you kind of get stronger by them pushing you.
Hmm.
And I mean, that's just like what I've experienced in my life, you know.
Yeah, I love that. I also like when I think of it like you push a boy and he'll break. You push a man and he'll get stronger. It's like implying that a man won't break, and like it's like thinking of like what breaking is. You know, like breaking is like stopping and giving up, or it's like when something fails is when it breaks.
Yeah.
But like if like those are the moments that you have to learn from and that make you better.
Hmm.
And like if being a man is not about stopping when shit breaks. You know,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
if you got fucking 4 kids in your family and you're in the middle of the desert and your car breaks down, like you're going to get the fuck under that
Yeah.
hood and try
Yeah.
you're going to try and fix it. You're not
Uh-huh.
just going to sit there and cry and be like, "Oh no,
Right.
honey, you do it."
There's no option.
There's no option but to uh keep going.
Right.
So another one right after it that's also on the topic of masculinity. The presence of challenges, not absence of, will push a man towards his potential.
Yeah. So I guess I can speak on that one a little bit clear. Like I feel like um in times of my life where I had zero like challenges, I was the weakest that I ever was. Like
Mm.
when I was living at my parents' house when I was like 20 to like 22 were just pretty much like my dark years of just like doing nothing at all. Like I was like just a complete like
Degenerate.
yeah, I was just like
I mean, not really a degenerate, you know, but like
yeah, yeah.
you weren't working towards your dream or your goals. Like you didn't have any direction.
Yeah. And I think that like for men or like boys that are trying to become men, I think that you need a little bit of struggle in your life, especially around the ages of like late teens to early 20s. I think that you need a little bit of a impetus to get you off your ass and like do something.
Mhm.
And for me and for you, that was like New York. And that's you kind of have to like put your money where your mouth is and do something, and
Yeah.
it's really interesting because in a lot of like the like ancient cultures, um they had this sort of like process that they would put these boys through to signify that you are now a man, and they would like steal them from their moms. Like they all the men in the tribe would like dress up as these like monsters, and they would come in the middle of the night and steal the boy and take him into the woods away from his mom and all of the like the comfortable parts of their village, and they would like bring him out into the wild and like treat him just like kind of toughen him up, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And like they would do all these like kind of like ceremonial things, and like and then he would return back to the village, and he was then considered a man. And like this
Mm.
even happened when they were like 12 to 14, you know, that
Yeah.
young. But it was like a symbol, like a symbol of them becoming a man. Like, because in a lot of like the books that I've been reading, it's like in our society we kind of lack that ceremonial thing for boys to become men. But I think that we can kind of create that for ourselves by um, actively seeking out challenges, because like the the human like um, default is to just kind of be comfortable, but that doesn't really make you stretch and grow to become better. It kind of just weakens you, actually. Like for me, when I was the most comfortable in my like 20 to 22, I was safe, I was comfortable, I was all these things, but I wasn't happy because I wasn't challenging myself, and I wasn't like becoming stronger. And I don't just mean that in the sense of like, oh, he's lifting weights or whatever. Like, I mean, like mentally stronger, spiritually stronger, all of these things. Like, I feel like just as people, we kind of atrophy away when we're not actively using something. Kind of goes back to that principle of like, if I put my arm in a sling, like on the surface, you may think that it's going to get stronger because you're not using it so much, but it's actually the opposite. Where if you put your arm in a sling, 6 months down the road, this one's going to be a lot weaker than this one. And
Mm.
I feel like that's how it is for uh, pretty much everyone. But I think that especially younger boys need to learn that more, to like actively seek out struggles and stuff. And that's what I kind of wish, that I was like part of a community, like how you were part of an Eagle Scout, or you became an Eagle Scout.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wish I was part of a community when I was younger that kind of had some of those ideals like mixed in with the training and stuff, like to get out in the woods and do stuff, you know?
Yeah, my community like that was also my brother's,
Yeah, true.
where we would go out and do stuff. And like I remember I used to work at this trampoline place over the summer called Lowe's, and we would go and we would remove all the foam from the foam pits and then clean the bottoms, and then they would give us free passes to jump.
Yeah,
Like we had like a card that was like a debit card that they would fill it up with sessions so that we could come.
right.
And I remember at the trampoline place, like we were getting into the world, like since I was going there all the time, and my friends were also like Brighton Hadley, who was like, we're also skiing and like using skiing to guide our trampoline jumping, because a
Hmm.
lot of professional skiers are doing doubles and triples and stuff, and they'll train on a trampoline before to get familiar with flipping like that. And so we started to learn different doubles and stuff, like double backflips or fiesta rolls or different variations. And I remember a lot of the older kids would have like ankle braces or
Hmm.
like ankle guards or whatever to like give them more ankle support. And so I wanted to get an ankle guard like that to jump with, even though I didn't have any injuries. And my dad told me like, I mean, he was like, no, don't do that because you're just gonna weaken your ankle,
Yeah.
and so that when you don't have it, you're gonna get hurt.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, roundabout, that's where that story was leading. But also this topic of like maturing, it also makes me think of gang culture.
Hmm.
Like you get jumped into a gang, and usually you're at a certain age. But um it also, in the cultural context of the one that you were talking about, I've heard of other cultures that did like just extreme versions of that, like making these kids do, I mean, I don't remember specifically any of them, but I just remember hearing some crazy things, some
Yeah.
crazy coming of age stories.
Yeah.
This ain't no ladybird.
I know. I think that they like even whipped some of the kids too, which I don't advocate, but it just tells you how they were doing it, you know.
Yeah. So let's maybe do one more tweet. to wrap this tweet session. Maybe
Tweet sessions.
we need to get like a jingle so that we can cue the sound. Going in, doing tweet sessions. Oh sheesh. This one's savage.
All right, I don't know which one it is, but say it.
Everyone wants to be your brother until it's time to do brotherly things.
Bro,
Man,
ain't that the truth though?
I'm gonna retweet it right
Especially
now.
like in this day and age though, like when everyone's spitting around, like they're all just saying like anytime brother, or like hey there brother. It's like,
I mean,
bro, you don't know.
I remember first seeing that a lot when we started working with Gerard, and like seeing it happen to Gerard. Like people that were like, not his friends that would come to events, and it would be their first time meeting him. And I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I like there's a few different like contexts of it, because it could just be like a longer form of bro, like what's up, bro, But I feel that there's a lot of people that use it in more of like a endearing way, like you and I are one and the same, brother. Like we're in this together, brother. Like
Yeah,
they're trying to make it seem like we're in this together and I'm on your side and all this stuff, but like it's like coming from people that DM you once a year, and it's just like outside of this digital sphere, you wouldn't do anything for me, So It's like, I don't know. It's just like, it's kind of like one of those trendy things to say, but like amongst fellow men, but like it just is so played out, I feel like.
For sure. It's like the girl that calls everyone their best friend. It's like,
right.
Who's really your best friend?
Yeah.
That defeats the purpose of best.
Yeah, because when everyone is your best friend, who is your best friend? Like it defeats the meaning of it. It loses value, it loses importance on like who really is your best friend or who really is your brother.
Wait, have you watched the show The Circle on Netflix?
Yeah.
This makes me think of like in the show, like someone will get, so it's like a popularity contest.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to be the influencer, and then you go through rounds of eliminating, and the winner gets 100K.
Right.
High level, just quick what the show is. And everybody ranks each other first, and then the top two become the influencers, and they decide who goes home. And so it shows everybody, going through and ranking everyone. It doesn't show everyone, but it shows clips so that you can try and guess who's going to get 6th place or 5th or whatever. And they do that each time to eliminate people.
Yeah.
And like, it's interesting, like the real people in the catfish made like a pretty clear divide, except for Nick. Like all the people on his side are catfish, and then the people on the other side are all real people, playing real people. And the real people, like the leader of the real people, you could say, is Kay. And she is just freaking can smell the fakeness. Like she can just tell her radar.
Yeah.
And like they'll say, like they can tell, like it came to a point where they split into 2 even teams, and there were a bunch of random alliances that people make, and certain people who were like sitting on the fence, like had alliances on both sides, turned out like that hurt their rank. Like it made them an enemy because they couldn't choose one side over the other. Like it hurt both sides. But it's also kind of like, I don't know, it's like words and actions. It's like what you said, like they don't want to do brotherly things. Like you like some of the people who show me the most like genuine love in my life don't say much. Don't like it's not words, it's actions and things that they do. And so it's like they don't need to tell me that they love me every time that they see me and all blah blah blah, sweet talk me this whatever, I know how they feel because of how they treat me and like how we treat each other. And it's not just like, oh, yeah, I want to be friends with this person. Let me just sugar talk them on one sweet DM once a year, and then in 5 years when they're famous and we're best friends or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you gotta do things a, like good relationships are like mutually beneficial. Like both people provide value for each other in different ways with their company or conversation, and it's like those friends where you can like go out and they'll cover you, and then next time you cover them, and like you're not keeping tabs
Yeah,
or
yeah.
keeping track, and it's not like Truman owes me 3 Chipotle burritos.
Yeah, you're keeping track in your Apple Notes.
Yeah, like that's like there's no trust there, and like that
Yeah.
it's not a genuine relationship building. So I'm all about, it's like uh show me with your actions, and if you show me, I'll show you.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, there's also, of course, people on the other side where it's like I will show people love, and if you show me love back, we can be homies, and if not, then we don't have to be homies, and that's like totally okay. Like there's a lot of people in the world, enough homies to go around for everybody. You
Yeah.
just want to find the right homies for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you got any books you've been diving your nose in aside from TikTok? Like any new ones coming up?
Um
I'm not gonna lie, I've been a slacker reading lately, and I need to hop back into it again.
yeah.
Just
I
like a
have
little bit every day.
yeah. Yeah, I'm still on that 10 page a day wave.
Fire. That's lit.
But
And what's
yeah.
the current book?
The current book is
Unless this is classified.
no, it's called The Power of Imagination by Neville Goddard.
Is that the one with Buzz Lightyear on the? Wait, no, that's the Pixar one.
No.
No, I'm thinking of the Pixar biography, I think.
So, I mean, it's so much to dive into, but I'll kind of explain who Neville Goddard is.
Uh-huh.
He's he's like this mystic who he's dead now, but he like lived in Manhattan, and like every week he would do these like free events where he would speak on the Bible, but instead of explaining the Bible as a historical book, he would explain it as a story of the psychological dramas, he calls, of the human like experience. And so he kind of explains that like these stories in the Bible aren't historical facts, they're more of like an analogies of how you can like situations that you'll come into in your life or something like that, or like kind of like lessons or something.
Quick
But like
side note, like this is really interesting because the Mormon prophet Russell M. Nelson, in the most recent General Conference, said that the Book of Mormon isn't a historical document
mm,
or like a historical. It's not like a, I don't know, like what you were saying, how Neville Goddard was looking at the Bible. Like he's saying that it's not a, and I don't know if necessarily the Mormon prophet is saying that exact thing, because that's kind of a big deal for him to say that. But also, is interesting just because they've been doing hella archaeological research around the area where the Book of Mormon should have taken place and haven't found anything. And
yeah,
so that's why a lot of people that on the scientific analysis of the church are skeptical. But
right.
anyway, continue with what you were saying.
Um, so and like kind of like the law of attraction,
Uh
like
huh.
pretty much if you start studying the law of attraction, like no matter what way that you get into studying that, you will eventually like go down this stream of information and knowledge, and you'll end up at Neville Goddard.
Mm-hmm.
And like his like main idea is that like you can kind of manifest or achieve or create or whatever you want to use. You can create anything that you want in your life by leveraging your imagination.
Hmm.
And like kind of explains that like, so like there's your conscious mind that like I can decide I want to pick up this phone, or like I can decide to chuck this against the wall behind me right now if I wanted to. Like that is like free will of deciding whether or not you want to pursue an idea or not. Like I can, with my conscious mind, I can select an idea and do it, you know. But there's like this idea of the subconscious mind that is kind of like running the show behind the scenes. Like I'm talking to you right now, but like I'm still breathing, but I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
conscious of my breathing. And all
Yeah.
these things are going on in my body that are happening that are subconscious to what's going on right now in my experience. And he kind of explains that uh like this subconscious activity of like your personal experience is God. And like so he explains that like you can like choose an idea and then give it to God, or like give it to your subconscious, and that will work at manifesting into your life. And like
Oh,
so it's like
interesting.
but like he kind of, his main thing is like this idea of states, like because there's, let me try to explain this. Like people, when they want to manifest something in their lives, they'll like think about it, you know. Like if I want to manifest more money or a new car, and like I've kind of explained this to you before, but it's like if I'm like, there's like different ways that people do it. Like if I want to manifest $10,000, or let's say I want to manifest a Range Rover, like there's certain levels to it. Like I can think about the thing, you know, I can think about the Range Rover, but like his Neville's whole thing is shifting your perspective to thinking from it. And so you think from the state of being an owner of a Range Rover. And so like instead of because like if you want to make more money, and like if I consider myself to be like poor and I want to be rich, uh I need to start thinking from the state of being rich now.
Uh-huh.
And so like his thing is like you're never going to become rich if you are still in that poor state of mind. Like because you can be in that poor state of mind and think about being rich, and it will never happen. You have to change your state of mind to thinking from being rich. And like so that kind of changes your whole perspective of how you approach everything in your life if you're thinking from a different place than
Yeah.
like thinking of it. And it's
That
like,
also sounds a lot of like a lot like what Russ did to achieve his success that he talks about, is just like became the person, or same with Drake and
yeah,
Aubrey Graham. He just became Drake. Like you
yeah, yeah,
become that person. And like how would Drake act in that
yep,
situation?
yep.
Um anyway, keep going about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what you just said. It's kind of like that whole idea of like, I said I was the greatest before I was, or whatever that line is.
Uh-huh.
Like saying you're the greatest before you are the greatest, you know, kind of has a way of like manifesting it into your life that way. Um, and
Is confidence just believing that greatness?
I mean, I think that confidence is like a mixture, right? It's like a mixture of like, I think that to have like true confidence, you have to have some action backed behind it too.
Uh-huh.
So like you can get into like the state of whatever you want to become, but then you need to take action on that. And I think that it becomes easier when you uh, get into the state to take action, because like once you're in that state of mind, you kind of have access to a new train of thought that wasn't available to you before. And so like you can say like, what type of actions would like the rich version of myself be taking, or like what actions would the healthy version of myself be taking. Like when you're in that state of mind, you can kind of have access to these new thoughts that can spring you into actions, you know. But if
Mhm.
you're not in that state of mind, you're just kind of like doing what you normally do or whatever, you know. But
Bro, if you think about like all great things, or great pieces of art, or great businesses, or great creations, they didn't just accidentally create them. Like you like Sam Walton didn't just accidentally make Walmart. He first had the idea and the imagination, like to have a big accomplishment, you have to have a pretty big fucking idea. Like Elon Musk is on track to become the first trillionaire
Yeah.
because of SpaceX and Tesla, and it's because he had a big ass idea. I mean, I guess that's a side debate of it. The idea wasn't necessarily Elon starting Tesla, but to get to for Elon Musk to become who Elon Musk is today, he had to have had the idea of owning a space company, a car company, the industries that he's involved in. Even if he didn't start Tesla, he
Yeah.
still got Tesla.
Uh-huh. And like this like ideology or whatever you want to call it that Neville explains, like this idea of like being in a state, like he also says that like your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, and that everyone in the universe is just you pushed out. And so
Mm.
that, I mean, these are like crazy concepts, and it's definitely like you can take it to an extreme, right? But like he's pretty much saying that like people are reflecting back to you what you think about yourself. And so like if you're um insecure and people are like making you feel bad or whatever, like, or like if you're insecure, people are going to kind of reflect back that insecurity. But if you are really truly confident in yourself, then people's remarks are just going to be off of you, you know. It's kind of
Yeah.
like going back to the TikTok thing. Like I'm getting triggered because there's part of me that's like, am I full crap, you know? Like it's like that they wouldn't affect me if I knew 110% that I was like correct or right or whatever that is. And um so the power of this is like when you're in the state of like what you want to become, people start reflecting back to you what you are, you know? And so um like people will start to assume that you are that person if you're walking around as that person, you know? And
Yeah.
so because I feel like a lot of like uh barriers that people face when they're trying to like grow or become something in life is like their um environment or the people around them reflecting back that they're not that person. Like Russ, like I'm sure that it was super hard like when he first started making music, and I'm sure that you can relate to this. Like when you first start making music, people are like, wait, like you're making music now? Like, or they'll be what are you doing? Like, what is this? Like, what is Apple Shift Q? You know, what are you doing right now? Like,
You sound like
and,
the voice in my own head.
yeah, and like, so
That's
like
me talking to me.
everyone faces this, you know, and
Uh-huh.
but like it's um so like people, that makes it really hard to like go to where you want to go in life when like people or your inner voice or whatever is like reflecting that back. But like when you kind of like shift your mindset and shift your state into like, no, I am like this person, then it's kind
Yeah.
of like a different approach, if that makes sense.
Bro, I was recording in the studio the other day with 64 floors, and I got into a flow. I was rapping and flowing like the fucking Green River. And like we got to the end of the beat, and I was just thinking about like every time I get into deep flows like that where I'm like so my rhymes are so creative and I'm like so good at rapping, like it's because I'm tapping into a mindset. And I always forget, like, when you're going into a freestyle rap, if you're overthinking, it's like,
Yeah.
what rhymes am I going to say? What
Mm-hmm.
words? Blah, blah, whatever. But it's more so like, what picture are you painting? What's an environment that you're setting? Or what's a mindset? What's the perspective that you're trying to share? You know, like, are you like fucking venting? Are you heated? Are you like confident? Are you arrogant?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it doesn't always have to necessarily be good things. Like it could even be like, are you, I mean, like good is such a relative word. Like people like to think that like, oh, just happy is good and sad is bad. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there's times to be sad that's good. That
Right.
to hide those feelings and to just push them away, it's like you're just gonna build up like a
Yep.
bottle and forever until eventually you're gonna fucking pop.
Yeah.
And like it's so much better to just like feel those emotions and just express them rather than lie to yourself. But yeah, when I'm rapping, if I can tap into a mindset, like a character, and that's why a lot of rappers do rap like characters, or like, what they're saying isn't always what the person is saying. If
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just because in a song I say I'm mobbing in a range doesn't mean that I'm saying I own a Range Rover. It could mean I'm riding in Gerard's range. It could be I'm at a dealership testing out a range,
True.
and that's why it's up to the listener to interpret, and they tell the story. They listen to the song and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is what goes on." But they're always going to interpret it differently from what the truth is, no matter what. Always. Like, because everyone will just interpret it however they will. And if you understand that as an artist, then you start to think less about the words that you're saying, because they're going to get interpreted anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can, I mean, of course, there's times where it could be more straightforward the way that you're
Mm-hmm.
telling a story, but even then, everyone is going to listen to it and everyone's going to interpret it differently based on their perspective. So you can't really do anything about it. Like, a lot of the best, like, I remember seeing this clip of John Lennon and like a super fan going up to him, like freaking out, and he was like, "This song changed my life. I know every word it did, blah blah." And John Lennon was like, "I don't even remember that song." He's like, "How did you write it? How did you blah blah?" And he's like, "We just showed up, and that's just what we made that day."
Yeah.
But to the listener, and if they want to interpret it one way, if that interpretation is going to change their life, if it's going to inspire them, if it's going to make them, push them to do something that they wouldn't normally do in a good way.
Yeah.
Sometimes music can do that in a bad way. You ever listen to a
Mm-hmm.
song and you're like, "Yeah, I'm on my grumpy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go steal a Reese's Puff box,
A Reese's Puff Box.
some Reese's Puffs." Like,
Yeah.
you listen to it, it's like, "Yeah, some hood shit." But it's good to like experience different perspectives. Like, that could help solve, like, this is far. I was gonna say that could help solve racism, helping white people experience different cultures, different mindsets of different artists, like J Balvin. Like, he's a Latin American artist. I don't know exactly where he's from, but he collaborated with McDonald's on a meal just like Travis Scott.
Yeah.
That's huge. I mean, even Travis Scott getting as big as he is, and like, we can just kind of put on Birds in the Trap, sing McKnight, and get into his world, his mindset. Like,
Yeah.
what it was like, and we don't know the true story behind Birds in the Trap.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes it dope to Truman and Mike was like the time era that it came out, and when we
Yeah.
listened to it, and like what we as listeners attached to it. So being the artist on the other side, what's important isn't like, it's not every nitty gritty word that Travis Scott said in the ends that made me like it. It was a combination of like the auto tune on his voice and his melodies and the beat and all the different sounds. It
Right.
wasn't
Yeah.
just like that Travis Scott wasn't like, what are the white kids gonna bump and gonna turn up to, and what's gonna make them like it? Because a lot
Yeah.
of people, when they're making TikToks or building a brand in a different way, they think of like, what would they like? Like, what would my customer avatar like? And then they try and create to cater to them.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not what Travis
Right.
Scott did.
Right.
Travis
Uh-huh.
Scott is like, "Hey, yo, this is me, bitch. This is my world. Like, this is Birds in the Trap. This isn't
Yeah.
Birds in Walmart. This is Birds in the Trap." And like, being an artist and to create those worlds, like, that's what I love about Tyler the Creator, like Kanye, uh, even like other types of artists like Morgan Wallen
Mm-hmm.
or Tyler Childers. They're creating worlds that are unique to them, but are so different. Like, it's hard to compare Morgan Wallen with Kanye West, because they
Yeah.
do it in different ways, and
Uh-huh.
they're sharing different perspectives.
Yeah, I feel like if you like compete, if you're trying to be really like scientific about what you're creating, like
Like,
you can,
how you're gonna blow up or something.
yeah, like, and like if you like want to be like the best lyricist ever, and that's only what you're focusing on, it's like eventually there's going to be someone else that's a better lyricist than you, and they're going to surpass you, and so it's like becomes like a race to,
The bottom.
yeah, it's like there's nothing like tangible there. It's just about like being like best at one specific thing or whatever. But like when you can create like a world that's completely new, and like no one can like create like Bon Iver, like what he's created, like that sound. People will try to
Yeah.
copy it, but they can't do it like he did, you
Mm-mm.
know? And like people try to copy Kanye, but like they can't create the brand of Kanye, you know? And so I feel like to really get to like artistry level, you have to create like a whole world or like a sound that's specific to you, and like you have to be known for that, you know?
Bro, and it's like this topic goes beyond music and sound because it also makes me think of Picasso and his unique style and how different it was, and also Vincent van Gogh. I don't know, did we talk about the Van Gogh exhibit that I went
Yeah.
to?
Yeah.
But that was just that same thing of like I was in Van Gogh's world, like in the paintings, and his style of art is like so consistent to and so unique to Vincent van Gogh. Like that's what made Starry Night so special. Like people would look at it and it's like, even to this day, I still have never seen a painting like Starry Night before, in like the way that the brush strokes are and like the composition and the way that each different component tells a different part of the story the longer you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see it at first glance, but then you can also stare at the tree in the foreground and the spirals in the sky and interpret them as clouds or stars or uh, whatever, and then all of a sudden it's a whole world looking at that one picture.
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up.
Look it up. We need a Jamie to be able to pull up
I
stuff
know.
like that. But dude, it's I mean, I'm so glad we're talking about this topic because this is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, is this race to the bottom. Also, this is what I talked about in the article I was interviewed in a couple days ago. I was interviewed for like a stream of articles that are going to come out in the future, talking on like photography and like film versus digital was like the main topic that I wanted to talk about, because she had like a bunch of different topics. She was going to interview a few photographers, and so I chose film versus digital. And one of the things that like I've always been kind of passionate about, I guess, when it comes to creating, is the concept that you don't need the best equipment to make high quality work.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need the best camera to take a, a phenomenal photo, to make a great video, to make a great song, to make a great piece of art, whatever. Like, there are, of course, their tools, you know, they help you create work and create different things easier, maybe. And like, if you have the access to upgrade your tools based on what you're trying to create, like, I'm definitely saying you should do that. But also, you shouldn't let that stop you from creating something, because all you can do is just do your best and add your unique perspective. Some of my favorite photos, like even artists, even photographers like Ansel Adams, who is like a black and white nature photographer, and like on the surface level, the technical side of his photos, because he's, you know, long gone. I think he was like early 1900s, late 1800s or so. The resolution and the quality is dog shit. It's not like what I could get with my A7R2 fucking
Yeah.
super high res, but that doesn't mean that my photo is going to be better than Ansel Adams photos. And same with making music. Like, you know, there's plenty, like, this is the rise of the bedroom pop movement.
Right. Yeah.
The bedroom artists like Rit Momney, that like one of the times I shot with Rit Momney, we were at his mom's house in his basement studio where he recorded like a lot of his like first album. And I was just like taking photos of them where like they weren't in a professional studio, and they didn't need it because like they had all the tools they need. They had a drummer, they had the proper equipment, they had the right microphones, they soundproofed it themselves on the walls with all this stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, it's not fucking Abbey Road. It's
Yeah.
not gorgeous, but it's unique to his process and his art. And like that's part of the story of Rip Momney, you know? Rip Momney is this kid from Utah who had this band in high school and his friends left on missions and he kept it rolling and started throwing shows, selling them out. And now he's still like super, super young and he just dropped his second album
Yeah.
that they've been throwing it on all these different playlists and like he's just getting rolling. It's super exciting and it's super inspiring, you know, being another Utah artist and having like had the opportunity to work with him before all the hype and all the pop happens.
Yeah. Has his friends come back on their mission yet? Like, have
Yeah,
they?
I'm sure they have.
Okay, like that must have been crazy. Like, I don't know what the time frame was, but
Yeah.
like they leave on the mission and they're just like a band in Salt Lake, and then
Mm-hmm.
they come back and he's been on Jimmy Fallon and all these things.
Yeah.
Like that's so wild.
And it's crazy how quick like modern artist growth happens. Like
Yeah,
it's like when once his cover went viral, it was game over.
dude.
Like
Yeah.
it was everywhere. James Charles. And that's what the internet kind of has access to everyone's
Yep.
pockets,
Yep.
everyone's eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And I was listening to or watching like a Russ interview a few days ago because they were just talking about like this creator culture and like how every artist is a business. And he was talking about how like you just have to put the songs out. Like he says like a lot of artists will like judge their work too quickly. Like they'll put it out and like after a few days they're like, "Oh, this is garbage," and I should have never made that song or whatever. And he was talking about how like some of his biggest songs are like some of his oldest songs, and they only got popping like the past 6 months, just because
mm,
someone like some influencer with 1 million followers used it as the song behind their TikTok or something, and it goes viral. You know, like his Psycho song, like
yeah.
that's like that's old, and it's his top song right now. You know,
Bro, I have a playlist on my Spotify that's called Early Artist Bangers because a lot of times with artists, some of their early work is some of their best work because after getting cycled through the record label system with studios and whatever, it loses its grit. It's like
ooh
its
yeah,
rawness to it, you
yeah,
know? And like and even like it's not even necessarily like quality rawness, but it's more so like artist authenticity. And like I was listening, I have just like fucking fat massive playlists that'll be like uh 30 hours long or so that I could just
mm-hmm.
shuffle and then just not have to like just listen to them. And they're called like Mike's Faves and they evolve over time. Like there's like Mike's Faves 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and the most recent one that I'm working on right now is 6.0. So just as based on my current where I'm at right now, it's like these are songs that I want to throw on a massive playlist of songs I love.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to this playlist and Yonkers comes on because Yonkers just bro, it's so crazy. I've listened to Yonkers like so many different times. Like that song came out when I was in high school and was one of the first early Tyler songs that I heard. And now, still in 2021, I can listen to it and not want to skip it and listen to the whole thing and bump it and be like vibing to it.
Yeah,
And now, yeah, I know all the lyrics compared to younger Mike, but it still is really good. And same with like Russ with his like Pull the Trigger song. That was the first song by Russ that I ever heard years and years ago. And now I can still throw it on and it's still enjoyable and listenable. Like,
mm-hmm.
didn't have a early expiration date. But there's a couple other artists too. Wait, let me see if I can find that playlist real quick
Yeah,
and just read
I
some.
gotta pee real quick, so just keep it rolling.
Well, I guess we're on the music topic, so I can just continue to talk about music a little bit while Truman drains the main vein. All right, I'm not finding this playlist, so I want to just talk about what I've been listening to lately, my current vibes. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit behind on the Lil Peep documentary, and I watched that the other day, and it was super sad, but also super inspiring. The individual that Lil Peep was. So I've been listening to more like Lil Peep, like older songs, or this one is called "Walk Away as the Door Slams," but it's the acoustic version. So that song is pretty dope. But I remember when I first heard about Lil Peep, I wasn't a fan. And I mean, it was when I was in a more closed minded state of mind with a lot of different artists. I wasn't a huge fan of like auto tune or like, I mean, I didn't even like Travis Scott when I first heard him. And Lil Peep, I just, on the surface, I looked at his music as like glorifying drug abuse. Oh, here's Truman. I'll pick up. All right, so I found a little different topic I was kind of rambling about,
All right.
but I watched the Lil Peep documentary recently, the one that I rented it on YouTube, but I think it might be on Netflix or something. It's called Everybody's Everything, and I was just talking a little bit about Lil Peep. Have you listened to much of Lil Peep's music? I know he's not really, I mean, what I was just going into before you came on was like on the surface and at first impression I didn't like Lil Peep. I thought that he was kind of glorifying like drug abuse, but really that was just his perspective that he was sharing.
Right.
And I really like Lil Peep now, like one of my favorite artists, and in terms of him as a person, his style, what he brought to the table that was new with his music, and also like certain songs I've been put on from like Adam. But I don't know. Have you really ever listened to any of his music?
Um, the only song I really know is Beamer Boy.
And that one's a slapper.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
one of those bangers that doesn't really get old. Well, I'll have to make you a playlist. I was just going through my recent playlist of like new music that I've been listening to. I've also been listening to Saint,
Oh yeah,
Sainte. The music God's blessed us with a new Saint project that is fire. Oh my goodness. Like first time we heard Saint was coming back from Vegas shoot and
yep,
it was on Selection Radio.
yeah,
And I remember it was just like, holy shit. There was Champagne Shots was the first song.
yeah.
And it was like, holy crap. Like, I mean, it was like I had to just hear one song and I'm like, who is this guy?
Right.
Like, I want to learn more about this artist. And he has continued to deliver, to be honest. Like, he's probably becoming one of my favorite new artists. I mean, he's getting pretty big pretty quick, but I'd still say he's like a new artist. Um, and I also love his accent
Mm-hmm.
because he's from, I don't know, somewhere where they talk like this.
The UK somewhere.
Yeah. But he's got bars, and I love like the future sounds behind, like he does a lot of like synth chords that are just like long and like Star Trekky
Oh yeah,
almost.
yeah.
But who is like a artist that you've been listening to lately that you want to shout out? Because when we were hanging out the other day, you were playing tons of freaking bangers and they were all artists that I hadn't heard of. And I was
Yeah,
like, that's the dope thing about having like homies that also like love music is that, you know, you're out like while we're not hanging out and stuff, you're out discovering your own new music
yeah, dude.
and then you can like show it to me when we hang out.
Yeah, I never really like realized how much of like a music like uh like
Connoisseur.
I don't know about connoisseur, but like I'm always seeking out new music. Like I'm same
Yeah.
with you. I'm always adding new. I'm always making playlists. I'm always finding new songs and putting them on there. And like a lot of it was like I still do it on Spotify, but like I did a lot of it in the SoundCloud era, like just like finding a lot of gems on there and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I really liked Young Thug's album.
Oh.
Uh, how do you say this guy's name? The dude that's been blown up, the kid Lowry
Oh,
Lowry. How do you
the kid
say his name?
Leroy.
Leroy, dude.
Clip that.
I haven't been able to say his name since he started blowing up. Like I just never looked into how to say it. But
Yeah.
um what
He's
I
been he's been blowing up.
yeah, dude, what I like about him is that he has this like really like grunge like he's kind of like a to me he's like a mix between Justin Bieber and Trippy Red.
Oh,
And like
interesting.
so he in a lot of his songs he adds a lot of this like scream type thing and
Uh-huh.
like really like maneuvers his voice and stuff and kind of it's kind of like whiny like it's kind of like a scream whiny type thing.
Yeah.
uh
Whoa. Wow.
yeah, yeah. But like what's cool is that like uh it's a kind of a reflection of his like everyone like artists are producing music based upon their perspectives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like you have to ask yourself, why is he screaming, why is he whining, all this stuff. And you look at his past and his childhood and he kind of came up in a pretty rough area, and so he's kind of expressing himself through his music in that way, you know. When you've
Yeah.
and then like with Trippy Red, I'm assuming too, like I'm sure he had some kind of rough past by what he's talking about, you know. But like
Yeah.
it's like because on the surface people are like, yeah, this is annoying, why is he screaming, why is he doing all this stuff. But it's like that's how he's expressing himself through the music, and like
Yeah.
I respect that, I like that a lot.
Trippy Red is another artist, to be honest, who I think a lot of people are sleeping on
Yeah,
because, like, on the surface, he's a little bit scary looking,
right,
but like that isn't actually Trippy Red.
yeah.
You
Or
know,
what?
like I saw him in an interview with this channel that I love called Montreality that does like interviews with small artists and stuff. They got interviews with Peep and interviews with all sorts of different artists. And
Yeah,
they got a few with Trippy Red, and some of them he's like super zooted, like smoking on a blunt, and like, you know, a lot of artists, like when they get high, that's where they get into that artist mindset. Like Wiz Khalifa, or like it makes them kind of that makes Trippy Red come out a little bit. But then
yeah.
there's also been interviews where he's been sober and he's talking more like a normal human, talking about
Hmm.
normal things, and he's with a girl, you know, and
Yeah,
like it's like you can't let something turn you off. Like look at it just a little bit deeper, you know, like
right, right.
take a minute to dive into Trippy Red's music a little bit more, and like don't just listen to just the vocals, listen to some of the beats too, listen to some of the words that he's saying, or I don't know, some of the styles, like some of the punk. Trippy Red's like punk,
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like Playboy Cardi wants to be punk like Trippy Red, but Trippy Red is more punk than Playboy Cardi.
Right.
Unpopular opinion. Or maybe it's
Um.
not. Let me know who's more punk, Trippy Red or Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
Playboy Cardi. How can it be? It's a Playboy Cardi flow. Bro, I love just like imitating different rappers' flows when I'm freestyling, just
Uh-huh.
to kind of like get out of your head, you know?
Right,
Like
right.
a
Yeah.
lot of the hardest part about freestyling, especially like with other people, like it's one thing to freestyle like at night in your car alone and you just got a beat coming on, you just stumble into a flow casually. And it's another thing when you're like, there's like a couple people and they're like, hey, he can rap
Yeah, yeah.
freestyle.
Yeah.
Because I've had a couple of those moments, but um and I mean, honestly, it all depends on the situation. But trying to rap like a different artist, it's like taking a left turn. Like your mind kind of puts itself into a corner where like you start to like, it's like getting trapped in an alleyway where everything you're trying to rhyme is like broom and
Mm.
shroom and
Yeah,
tomb. You know,
yeah.
like it's easy to like and then that's when you're overthinking, like, what rhyme, blah blah.
Yeah.
But when you can take a left turn and just to be like, let me switch this up a little bit, like, how would Trippy Red sound on this? It starts belting as loud as you can. I just love when artists try creative shit.
Yeah, yeah. When you're talking about like what you see on the surface isn't always like what the artist like means, or like, you know, I was thinking of like a few years ago. This may even be approaching like 10 years ago, but
Wow.
Childish Gambino, he was for like a period of like 6 months to a year. Every photo that you would see of him, he was in like
in the same outfit.
the same like cream color T-shirt and like brown shorts or something, and he just kind of looked like he, like, I don't know, like he just rolled out of bed, and like, and everyone was like, kind of like, you know, articles are like, what's going on with Childish Gambino, you know, all this stuff, and like, but like, then like his album came out, and then like he released a short film with that album, and in the whole short film he's wearing that same outfit, and like, so it was like he was like he was like playing a role that whole time, you know. He was like being in character, you know.
Yeah.
And I think
bro,
it was just so genius.
Every Tyler album has a different outfit associated to it. It's like the costume for the character.
Right. Yeah.
Even with my music, I've been kind of doing that a little bit too, which is like the red coat. And it's been like slightly changing it, but like the basic, like the original vision of because before I wore the outfit, I consciously chose how I wanted Apple Shift Q to be portrayed, and I wanted it was inspired by my own previous looks, like it was inspired by Mike Ritchie's wardrobe, and but it represented like a bolder side of myself, not like it's like the leader side of myself, like the confident side of myself that's wearing the off-white Jordan 1s and the black Temple Mill hoodie with the red jacket, and then the head is where it changes a little bit, but that's kind of true to the story. Sometimes if it's cold, we're wearing a beanie. Sometimes if it's hot, and sometimes I might not have a hat at all. Yeah. And also my outfit will change for future projects. Like I have a different outfit for the second project. So they just gonna have to wait and see. I'm not gonna spill too many of the beans about that, but I think people should just kind of take an extra moment to think about an artist before they come to a harsh decision of like, this is trash.
Right. I think of the artist Snot, how he always has his hood up.
Yeah. Well, he has it crunched too.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's just like so funny to me and like so clever in a weird way. Like when artists do that.
Did you see the Island Boys? I'm gonna be an island boy. Did you hear that?
I heard it in a TikTok. But
I'm an island boy. Where they got the yellow hair that looks like Cynthia from Rugrats.
Yeah.
And hell, they're two twins that are covered in tattoos, and it's like you can't forget once you've seen them.
Yeah.
You can't just forget what those two fuckers look like.
I know.
I'm an island boy. I keep it stuck in my head too. I saw someone do like a trap remix to it where they added a beat behind, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty fire. Like, look, I'm not gonna lie, they're probably gonna drop fire music. Yeah. I'm gonna predict it here first. So, let's see. We're probably getting to the point where we should wrap this up. Any concluding thoughts for the people, Truman?
Oh man, I don't know. We were all over the place on this.
Honestly, I loved this episode. Like,
yeah,
we didn't just like. It's like I feel like a lot of podcasts. It's like just one thing, murder mystery the whole time.
Yeah.
But we covered a lot of different topics.
Yeah.
So hopefully someone got some entertainment out of this.
Right. It's always hard coming up with titles too.
Especially with ones like this.
Yeah.
It could be Island Boys.
Island
Maybe
Boys.
I should do that with my hair. Maybe if this episode gets 100,000 likes, maybe then Mike will do the Island Boy hair. They're called wicks. I saw in the comments someone called them wicks, like a candle wick.
Oh man.
Like first you first step is dreads, and then second step is wicks.
How do they sleep at night? Do they have to do it every morning?
I think the hair is their least of concerns on how they sleep at night. Roasted! Got him.
Boom, roasted.
Boom, roasted.
They can't wear hats either.
No, unless they were to get like a bandana type hat. I don't know. It's
a hat. It's a hat that's like cut out, so it just goes around the hair, and it has a brim, but you still have the.
It looks like one of those gardeners that grows tomatoes on it. You know?
Yeah.
That goes in your garden. I don't know. It's a fine line, but it's a fine line between a nest and a wick.
Yeah.
So, 100,000 likes. They still didn't even get our like challenge on the video where we said we would jump in the lake. But I'm gonna keep that low key.
Wait, when was that? When was that?
You were the one that said it. It was at American Fork Canyon up at the lake up there when we were taking photos with all our friends. And there's that white dog.
Oh yeah.
And I think you said something like 100 likes and we'll jump in the lake.
Oh yeah, 100. Dude, I remember I was with David in at the Commons. I think it was like the time where you went home or something. And so I was just hanging out with David and all his buddies, and we're vlogging, and he said something like, if we get like so and so likes or something, you'll jump in the pond at the Commons.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, yeah, whatever, sure. And then like it did or something. Like I don't remember what the criteria was for like the dare.
Oh my. And didn't he vlog it when you jumped in?
No, I didn't jump in.
Oh, you didn't jump in?
I don't think I ever jumped in. No. But he was vlogging like when he dared me to.
Well, now all you can do is go back and jump in. The thing is, like, that's not really a easy spot to fuck around.
Yeah, I know.
It's like there's security guards, there's a ton of nice cars and a lot of people. It's like a public area, and you just jump the fence and then just go jump in with the turtles.
Yeah, I'm on David's channel right now.
When was the last post? Maybe we should call out David.
5 months ago.
David Saucedo at Saucedo. Up the numbers, or I'm gonna have to drop a diss track.
Bro, he was good. Like he was good at making videos.
Yeah, and he does. Look, here's the thing. It's not necessarily about being good at making videos. It's about, do you have something interesting in your life to capture on camera? And for me, that's the hardest part about regularly making a video, is that I'm just fucking sitting at my computer most of the time. Whereas David is on private jets to foreign countries on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, vlog it. Vlog that. One day they'll see David blow up. I think he could blow up. I honestly think he has like the personality and the ability to talk on camera and create content. Like at this point, he just has to keep doing it and not stop. But he's also kind of getting more towards like short films and different higher end film mediums, I guess. So who knows? Maybe David's going to be the next Tarantini.
Tarantini?
David is the Tarantini, if you know what I'm saying. Just kidding. We love you, David.
I'm watching a vlog where we're in it. I think
maybe we should link his vlog below so that people can watch.
All right.
One with us in it.
I think
Like the we doorbell did Kendrick Lamar, or we trick or treated at Kendrick Lamar's
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
There's a vlog about it if you don't believe us.
This
You
video,
can see me. I'm kissing Kendrick Lamar's forehead.
Yep. This one, he's in this vlog. It was March of 2019, and it was when we
The good old days.
it was like when we visited him. Like
because we were already in Utah by that point.
Yeah, and he walks up on you at the Starbucks at the Commons. Like you're
at the start of the video, he walks up to me.
Yeah, or not like 40 seconds in. Like you're editing a video. Let me see if I can see what you're editing.
Oh shoot. Wait. Okay, wait. Let me take a guess.
Okay. Yeah, I know what it is now.
So it's March of 2019. Oh, is it Ulysses video?
Yep. Which one?
It's the Internet Earners Summit.
No. It's not.
Oh shoot. Is it? You can tell which one. Oh yeah, because you can see the frames.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Is it the Las Vegas Mastermind?
Yep.
Oh shoot! Score.
Yo, your timeline's looking kind of messy, bro.
Don't expose me like that.
Yo, why are you color grading on the clip when you can be doing an adjustment layer?
Am I really?
No, I don't know.
Oh shoot!
But
rookie move.
This was right before we went to Japan, like when we stopped in.
Oh yeah, let's say with Grammy.
Yep.
On Temple grounds. We were on Temple grounds.
You guys are finding me now.
In the vlog. Wait, am I just sitting in the corner of a Starbucks?
Yeah. You're editing a video.
Bro, I got an idea. So you know how we got all those old vlogs?
Yeah.
The Mike and True vlogs? What if we react to those on the podcast?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Because I was like, maybe there's a way to use that like on my YouTube channel to talk about it. But maybe the podcast, like if we can just pull it up like the same way that you're watching the David's video, but if we could pull it up so that everyone else could watch and we could just like pause it at moments, add context, and just react to our own old vlogs.
Yeah. I think that what we'll have to do is do it on Zoom and like screen record, like screen share.
Oh boy. Yeah, something like that. It's getting fancy though.
Oh, I mean the harder way would be to like
or in person.
But we would have to
it'd be cool to do it like a segment almost where we just do one episode or something.
Yeah. But yeah, we just have to have the clip be like full quality for the viewer, you know?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Embedded in the final export.
Only the best.
The Commons, interesting place.
What do the comments say on that video? Is he getting hate?
No, it's in.
Who's this Casey Neistat wannabe?
It's in Spanish. Let me do Google Translate.
Doesn't David Saucedo play the accordion, not vlog?
The true David Saucedo.
Yeah, search on YouTube David Saucedo and you'll see the true David Saucedo.
Okay, wait. Paste. Okay, so this translates from Spanish directly to English. It says, well, hand again the vlogs.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, hand.
Yep.
Again.
Yep.
The vlogs.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So.
Hey, a lot gets lost in translation. Buddy probably we don't even know what Buddy said, even though we know what he said.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you can't trust the Bible.
Oh.
Just kidding. We're just pushing y'all's buttons. What were we gonna say?
What was I gonna say? Oh, David was committed to his YouTube channel. Like he was pumping them out. Like when we were living there. he was just like every night would just be in his room, like
editing vlogs.
grinding on vlogs.
Bro, yeah, he was hustling.
Takes commitment.
It does. I mean, I got like 50 vlogs to edit right now. 50. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but like that's the hardest part of vlogging is the editing part that takes so long. Like to consistently vlog, like next thing you know, it's just like gets overwhelming how much footage I got. And then but you have to just like chip at it slowly.
Yeah.
It'll pay off eventually. I love just watching old vlogs. Like David captured probably so many different funny moments that like we can just watch that and in the future, like it's pretty cool.
Dude, what's going to be a weird like technology that will most likely be invented? I mean, it probably already, the ability to do it already exists most likely, but like the software, people haven't put it together yet. But like if I could just like input a picture of like your face and it just scans the whole internet for every single photo, video clip, podcast, everything that you're in, and just like creates a feed of everything that you've been on. Like
it curates your media across the web.
Yeah, because like it'd be crazy like 40 years from now and someone inputs a picture of my face and then just like at 3 minutes and 29 seconds I'm in the background of David's video. You know what I mean?
And it can locate that.
Yeah, it can locate that.
Well, it could be a double-edged sword for certain people who don't want their images found.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like that the technology to make something like that's available.
Yeah, like in like the Photos app on your phone or like Google Photos, you can already like say, you know, I can type in Michaela's name and it'll pull up every photo in my Google Photos of her.
But it like organizes based on faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. How you liking your new phone? You got the Freshie. Oh
yeah.
Like now that you've given it some time, what's like the experience?
So nice. Like I forget what it feels like to have like a new phone and to like have a good experience on your phone. Like everything, I feel like I can do everything so quickly on this phone. Like whether it's like opening an app or like, you know, everything just loads so quickly on this that I was so used to my old phone being so slow and like waiting for it and all this stuff. And like this one is just like
5 generations newer.
Yeah. And like I've gotten used to the not having a home button too pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, because your last phone had the home button.
That's how old it was.
I haven't had a home button since 2018.
Yeah. Dude, it's so nice too.
Yeah, like you don't even really think about it. It's just kind of intuitive. Well, that's lit. I'm getting the rumblies in my tumbly. Do you hear that?
No.
My stomach is yelling at me. My stomach sounds like Trippy Red right now.
Oh, whoa.
My stomach is the Kid Leroy. Wow. Oh, there's another one. Well, everyone, if you want to follow us on social media, follow Truman on TikTok at Truman Mylan, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
They'll find the rest. That's the one that you can go follow right now. And then podcasts, got more of these coming. We were going to have a guest today, but decided to just keep it real. And then we got a few more coming up. Now with the YouTube channel too, I'm hyped. I need to get that one piece so that I can connect my camera though.
Yeah. And I need to get one of those batteries from you, like the ones you plug in the wall.
Yeah, I forgot.
Dude, it's going to be so nice.
When we both have cameras setups. Oh, well, get ready, y'all. The podcast evolving into a Charizard.
Yep.
We're evolving into a first edition Charizard. All you motherfuckers are first edition Charmanders. You're not even a first edition. You're one of the fake cards.
Do you see the TikTok I sent you of
the guy opening it?
Yeah, he's like shaking.
He's like, even the rapper can sell for money, trying to keep the packaging.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. Hey, what can I say? But I called it. Do I have any Pokemon cards? No. But if you were to talk to me when I was a child, I had all of them.
Dude, I still have them. So
fuck you.
But they're at my parents' place in the attic. But when I go back there for Thanksgiving, it's gonna be a surprise. But I don't think my parents are gonna listen to this episode.
Truman, on this episode of the podcast, Truman blows his cover.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I still have them because I definitely had quite a few of holographics, but I don't know if they're worth anything
or if they're in good condition.
Now, I know that they're in good condition because I had them in the sleeves.
Okay. All right, bro. But he got the sleeves,
dude. That was like the benefit of having Michael as my best friend during those years.
Because Mike's out, no doubt.
Yeah. Because he, like, you know him. He's just like, so when he gets something, he prizes it, and like he's very like treats it well, and like knows how to handle money, and you know he's always like thinking for the long term on those things. And
like, is he the friend that's asking you to wash your hands before you touch the Xbox controller?
No.
No. Well, you got to have those people so that the buttons don't get sticky.
Yeah, we can't be getting that Cheeto dust in the X
button. Oh, no way.
But yeah, he was like, bro, you need to get this like sleeve thing. And it was just like, I was like, damn, that's genius.
I had a little book.
Yeah.
And then it was like a 3-ring binder that was Pokemon branded. And then the pages were used for baseball cards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
what
But then
I just put Pokemon cards in them until they're all... And then some of them got double cases. Like some of them will be in a sleeve and the sleeve will be inside of it.
Oh, yeah.
My buddy growing up who had the real nice Pokemon cards that like his parents wouldn't even let us look at. They would keep them in the parents' room.
Wow.
And they would be in these really like hard plastic cases for like, I mean, they had like 3 or 4 Charizards, like a bunch of like nice first edition cards that probably now are worth a lot of money and are still in really good condition. Yeah, and then there was just another box. There was like a Lego box full of Pokemon cards with all the other ones.
Right. Yeah.
Those are the ones who are like, hey, go have fun with the fucking Pikachus.
Yeah.
And then they're keeping
the energy cards.
Yeah, have as many green energies as you want. Maybe Pokemon has been manipulating us our whole lives into drinking energy drinks.
Yep. That's it right there.
That's the answer.
You connected the dots.
Well, I think any last notes? Any last words before I pull the trigger?
No.
Can we end the podcast as soon as I pull the trigger?
I'm gonna play the outro song.
All right.
So you can shoot it and that'll trigger the song.
Put the gun away. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
a bit delayed.
Hey, it's always a party.
Island boy.
I'm the island boy.